now like to propose that the Assembly takes up Agenda Item 5, Annual Report of the Director General on the implementation of the work program and budget for 2020-21. And Agenda Item 6, Proposed Work Program and Budget for 2022-2023. This will allow for members to address both items during their interventions. The Assembly has before it document A/12/3, Annual Report of the Director General on the implementation of the work program and budget for 2020-2021, and document A/12, INF/2, Work Program Self-Assessment 2020-2021. The Assembly also has before its document A/12/4 and A/12/4/Rev 1, Proposed Work Program and Budget for 2022-2023, and a related draft decision contained in document A/12/DC/L.1/Revision 1. The Director General will make one presentation under both items. Following the presentation of the Director General, I will open the floor for members to intervene on both the Annual Report 2021 and the Proposed Work Program and Budget for 2022-2023. It gives me a great pleasure to invite the Director General to take the floor. Francesco?
Thank you, Madam President, and Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to present the work of the agency contained in the annual report and reflect on the agenda we propose for the next programmatic cycle. Let me begin by thanking you all for your immense support under challenging conditions over the past 2 years. And I wish also to thank all the personnel of IRENA for the great efforts they put in our work in these 2 difficult years. None of us imagined that event that unfolded during this period. And we are all still trying to understand the impact of what the world is going through. We are reminded daily how codependent we are. And it has never been more evident that tackling global problem requires people working together across borders and sectors. This spirit also resonates in the global quest to tackle the climate crisis. Over 130 countries have already committed to net zero strategies by mid-century. And thousands of businesses are joining climate action. Coming out of 2021, there is a lot more clarity on how we must move forward. But the time is running out, and we have to move fast with operationalizing the commitments made. The development and climate goals we set depends on our progress with the energy transition in the coming years. The priorities are clear. We must speed up the deployment of the available solutions and do so at scale by the end of this decade, while innovating for the long run. And here, renewables stand out as affordable, readable, available solutions for a range of policy objectives. Fast deployment will be essential in addressing health, development and climate priorities around the world. And much can be achieved if these priorities are pursued in tandem and holistically with unmatched levels of international cooperation. Next slide, please. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, when I took office, I pledged to position the agency as the leading authority for renewable energy. While the past 2 years posed many challenges and put to test many plans, IRENA is rising to the challenge. We are adapting to change in an innovative, inclusive, and programmatic way. Next slide, please. We established a series of collaborative framework to respond to the call of members to promote closer peer-to-peer collaboration and the exchange of immense knowledge that exists in our global membership, but we also open the door to others, including the private sectors. Private sector is essential partners in accelerating the transition and all the relevant stakeholders. And our collaborative framework are more than a platform. They are becoming our way of working, a dynamic, inclusive, and action-focused platform for international cooperation. Of course, our analytical and empirical work remains the foundation of all we do. In 2021, we launched our first World Energy Transition Outlook. Please, next slide. We showed how emissions can rapidly be reduced in line with the 1.5-degree goal, while ensuring the transition is just and leaves no one behind. Our analysis offers a path for decarbonizing all energy uses, with electrification and energy efficiency as primary drivers, enabled by renewables, green hydrogen, and sustainable modern bioenergy. WETO also outlined, the World Energy Transition Outlook also outlines several prerequisites which underpin the theory of change behind IRENA 1.5 Celsius pathway. Next slide, please. And we demonstrate how the policy, finance, and socioeconomic dimensions are intertwined with the technology pathway to help countries minimize risk and reap the benefit of energy transition. And benefits are so evident. Let me reflect on jobs. IRENA's story of renewable jobs has always been compelling, but it's especially significant today. It shows that immediate and positive impact on the shift to renewables at a time where solutions that provide an answer to multiple challenges are most needed. And our latest jobs report, published in cooperation with International Labour Organization, revealed that despite the pandemic, the total number of people employed in the renewable energy sector rose by 500,000 to 12 million in 2020. Next slide, please. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, our primary mission is to empower our members with knowledge and tools to translate the opportunities that energy transition offers into policies, strategies, and results. While the pandemic challenged our ability to drive action on the ground, we use all means available to provide targeted and impactful support. And NDCs have been vital in this regard. We have engaged with 72 countries, impacting 1.8 billion people through NDC enhancement and implementation. Through the process, we gain even greater insight into local conditions, priorities, abilities, and needs. And this foundation continues to be essential for the next stage, where operational clarity and implementation of steps will be drivers of progress. Investing in a renewables-based energy transition is no regret option. IRENA has argued for a long time that by investing in both people and technologies, government could make energy transition an effective tool for a resilient, equitable, and prosperous future. Today, the indispensable role of renewables is a mainstream conviction. But going forward, we must ensure that their deployment indeed realize the immense and wide-reaching potential. Next slide, please. As we advance, WETO will become the organizing framework to guide all aspects of our work. We will continue to update and improve this analysis to account for the dynamism of the energy sector and stay abreast of the latest developments. As in the first edition of the World Energy Transition Outlook, we will go beyond the technology pathway and provide policy, finance, and socioeconomic insight and advice. This is what sets our analysis apart from other scenarios and adds real-life value. Of course, our excellence in renewables is essential to our member, and they will continue to provide cutting-edge knowledge, especially focused on these slow-moving areas. Notably, these include end uses, where much remains to be done. Continuous work on green hydrogen will be crucial in this regard, along with several other topical priorities, including critical materials, end-of-life, recycling, and reuse. The past 2 years have been accentuated the need for an holistic approach to energy transition to achieve development goals, accelerate mitigation, improve resilience, and adapt to realities of climate change. Therefore, we also work at the cross-section of energy and areas such as health, food security, water, education, gender, and indigenous communities, while considering the broader economic, social, and geopolitical implication of the shift to renewables. The energy transition is a global challenge. Look at some of our reports. I'm very proud of those. The energy transition is a global challenge, but solutions must be found at many different levels. This is why our central priority for the coming years will be to translate the World Energy Transition Outlook into regional energy transition outlook, or WETOs, for all the platform, the cluster of IRENA. We are planning, if we have been received support of the European Commission, to have 5 regional outlooks for Africa, for South America, and Southeast Asia. This will provide pathways aligned with the regional conditions and their development and climate priorities. The regional energy transition outlook will also give a clear picture of the policy, finance, and socioeconomic aspect to help maximize benefits and manage adverse impact. In this regard, IRENA will continue to support the overriding priority of a just and inclusive transition for a more equal world, building on our long-standing work in this area. Next slide, please. We also use WETOs to support investment and project facilitation, especially in support of LDC and SCIDs, as I say, from the first day I started my tenure here at IRENA. Unfortunately, the pandemic limited our plan in this regard, but we made progress, and significant progress nevertheless. The Climate Investment Platform already has over 300 registered partners, including almost all the multilateral organizations, internationally relevant multilateral organizations, international financing institutions, and the private sector. Over 28 projects have been sourced by the Climate Investment Platform, with 120 eligible for support. Unfortunately, we could not hold the investment forum to date, but we are ready to hit the ground running as soon as conditions allow. And we have already been able to match some of the requests with necessary funding. A significant development has been the partnership with our host country, the United Arab Emirates, on the Energy Transition Accelerator financing platform. ETAF, and the slides are referring to the launch of the ETAF in the occasion of the COP26, aims to mobilize finance for 1.5 gigawatts of renewable energy projects in developing countries, with the Abu Dhabi Fund for Development joining as the platform first partner and providing an anchor contributing of $400 million. We are grateful for this strong partnership building on the success of the ADFD IRENA project facility, which supported 26 renewable projects in developed countries. Naturally, now we are going to a different scale of intervention. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, and in several parts of the programmatic discussion is that of resources. It is always challenging to reconcile our programmatic ambition with the financial reality. The last biennium has been even more challenging, as we are acutely aware of the difficult economic circumstances that many of our members face. This made us even more grateful for your timely contribution that we refer in this slide. We are naturally also thankful to the UAE as the host country of our headquarters, and Germany, hosting the Innovation Technology Center in Bonn, for the core non-assessed resources they are providing. And given the ongoing reality of the pandemic, I have proposed to keep the core budget at the same level for the next programmatic cycle, while accounting for new member contribution in line with previous practice. Next slide, please. Let me mention our gratitude to all our providing voluntary contribution that enable us to deepen and widen our knowledge and reach. We continue to work with several partners who indicate their willingness to support the work in the coming biennium. As we advance, we must secure a sustainable balance between core budgets, voluntary contributions, and other resources. I therefore propose that we resume the work on the Renewable Acceleration Fund, which member states started in 2018, and pursue a multi-donor trust fund in line with the applicable regulation. This would enable us to tap into diverse funding sources and secure a stable resource basis support successful programmatic cycle. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we now need to take the energy discourse to the next level, and as requested by IRENA membership, play a leading role in a global energy transition. And we are very happy that, as you can see, that our membership is accelerating in growing. The agenda is extensive. We must focus on the area where we can make the most difference on the benefit of all our members. Next slide. As we enter a new phase of the energy transition, we need to be innovative and stretch our traditional boundaries. Our proposal for the next 2 years, built on the work to date, draw on the agency comparative advantage in evolving energy landscape, and set the stage for the next phase of international cooperation for a positive change. In line with the theme of our Assembly, is now the time to turn the commitments into action and move quickly and collaboratively to rise the challenge ahead of us. Thank you very much for your attention, and back to you, dear Alessandra.
Thank you, Francesco. Thank you, Mr. Director General, for an extremely comprehensive presentation. I would like to hand over